All right, let's talk about something that pretty much everyone who works out has felt at some point. You're putting in the time, you're doing the work, you're sweating it out, but the results just seem to have stopped. You've hit that dreaded wall. Well, it's one of the most common frustrations out there, but today we're going to break down the simple, super powerful blueprint that pros use to smash right through it. So let's just dive right into the big question. Why? Why does that routine that felt so amazing for weeks all of a sudden feel stale? Why do the results just, dry up? It's a question we've all asked ourselves, and there's a really good answer.
And it always leads to these all too familiar feelings, right? Hitting that plateau where your progress completely flatlines, or just the sheer boredom of doing the same thing over and over and over. And don't even get me started on the confusion. You've got a million different gurus online telling you a million different things. If any of this is ringing a bell, trust me, you are not alone.
But what if I told you the solution isn't some brand new, complicated workout craze? What if it's actually a simple, proven, four-letter framework? A kind of blueprint that puts you back in control of your own progress, no matter where you're starting from. And this is it, the FITT principle. It stands for frequency, intensity, time, and type. The best way to think about these is like they're the four main dials on your personal fitness dashboard. Once you understand how to adjust them, you unlock the key to getting consistent, long-term results. So, let's decode this thing. We're going to break down each of these four letters, and I want you to think of them as levers you can pull anytime you want to challenge your body and, just as importantly, keep things from getting boring. First up, F is for frequency. It's exactly what it sounds like, how often you exercise. A great guideline from the American College of Sports Medicine is to shoot for about 3 to 5 cardio sessions and 2 to 3 strength sessions every week. And notice that last little bit? With rest days. Don't skip them. Recovery is just as crucial as the workout itself. Next is I for intensity. Basically, how hard are you working? The absolute easiest way to gauge this is what's called the talk test. It's a fantastic rule of thumb. If you can carry on a conversation while you're moving, that's moderate intensity. If you can only gasp out a few words at a time, well, congratulations, you've definitely found the vigorous zone. Now, if you want to get a little more scientific with it, you can use your heart rate. It's some pretty simple math. Just take 220 and subtract your age. That gives you your estimated max heart rate. From there, your target for moderate intensity is about 50 to 70% of that number. And for vigorous, you're aiming for 70 to 85%. It's a quick way to make sure you're in the right zone. But hey, maybe you're not trying to do math in the middle of a workout. I get it. That's where the rating of perceived exertion, or RPE scale, is awesome. This is all about how hard the exercise feels to you. On a scale of 6 to 20, you're usually aiming for that 11 to 16 range, somewhere between fairly light and a strong effort. It's such a simple and personal way to measure your intensity. Now we get to the first T, which is for time. That's the duration of your workout. The big guideline is to aim for about 150 minutes of moderate activity a week. But here's the best part. It doesn't have to be all at once. You can break it up into smaller, 10-minute chunks throughout your day, and it all counts. That makes hitting the goals so much more manageable. And our last letter, the second T, is for type. This is simply what you're actually doing. And a really balanced plan needs variety. You want some cardio for your heart, like running or swimming. You need resistance training for your muscles, like weights or bodyweight stuff. You need flexibility work, like stretching. And you even need neuromotor exercises, which is just a fancy term for anything that challenges your balance and coordination. Variety is the key to a well-rounded and injury-free routine.
Okay, so we've got the four letters, we know what they mean, now for the really fun part. Using this blueprint to absolutely smash through those plateaus and turn that frustration into real measurable progress.
This is where the magic really happens. The next time you feel stuck, just look at your FITT plan. Are you always running for 30 minutes on flat ground? Try increasing the intensity by finding some hills. Are you always lifting the same weights for 3 sets? Try increasing the time by adding a 4th set. Or just change the type altogether and go for a swim. By adjusting any one of these levers, you force your body to adapt. And that adaptation, well, that's growth.
And just so you know, this isn't some vague concept. Look at how specific it can be. This is a real-world example from the ACSM with recommendations for managing hypertension. It lays out the exact frequency, intensity, time, and type of exercise needed. This is a clinical, actionable prescription. It's that powerful.
But of course, the science of exercise never really stands still.
And while FITT is the absolute foundation, experts have started adding a couple more letters to make this blueprint even more robust for planning your fitness in the long run. So now you'll often see it as FITT VP. The V stands for volume. That's the total amount of work you're doing, like your sets times your reps times the weight. And P stands for progression. This one is so important. It formalizes the idea that your plan must become more challenging over time. It's about building in progress on purpose.
But after all the science, all the variables, and all the structure, researchers are pointing to one final, absolutely critical factor. I mean, this quote really says it all. You can have the most perfectly designed FITT VP plan in the entire world, but it's completely useless if you don't actually do it. The missing piece of the puzzle might just be enjoyment.
So, here's the bottom line. FITT gives you the blueprint. It gives you all the controls you need to break through any plateau. But what the science is finally catching up to is that the perfect plan on paper is worthless if you hate every second of it. The real secret to long-term fitness isn't just about manipulating the variables. It's about finding the combination that you actually look forward to. So the only question that really matters is this: what's the FITT plan that you'll actually enjoy? Because that's the only one that's ever going to work.